All right, let's talk about a framework for self-transformation that's so intense, it's called dangerous intentionality. Now, this is not your typical self-help guide. We're talking about a blueprint for a complete and radical rebuild of who you are, from the ground up.
And right off the bat, the philosophy hits you with this. It's not here to make you feel good. It's telling you straight up, this is about serious discipline, it's about consequences, and it's a path that demands everything. It's a warning.
So, okay, what are the actual rules here? What's the code behind this mindset? That's what we're going to do. We're going to dive into all 14 rules and really unpack how this whole thing is put together piece by piece. First things first, we got to define our terms. What does it actually mean to be dangerously intentional? And there you have it. This isn't just about making small improvements. We're talking about a complete and total overhaul. The idea is to have a focus so intense, so all-consuming, that the person you become at the end is basically unrecognizable from the person you were when you started.
And what's so interesting is that the philosophy kind of starts with the end goal. Rule 14 gives you the why right up front. See, this transformation isn't about getting revenge or showing off. It's about coming to the realization that the old you, well, they just aren't equipped to go to the future you're building.
Okay, so how do you even start building this? Well, like any strong structure, it all starts with the foundation. And in this case, that foundation is internal mastery. Before you do anything out in the world, you have to get control of what's going on inside your own head.
And this brings us to a few key rules for that internal game. First, Rule 12. You learn to see pressure not as something to avoid, but as the very thing that forges you. Then there's Rule 6, which is huge. Treat your energy like money. Don't just give it away to fools. And finally, Rule 5. You absolutely have to master delayed gratification. That's how you gain control over your future.
This next one, Rule 13, is a game changer. It's all about choosing to respond instead of just reacting. Think about it. A reaction is that knee-jerk emotional thing, right? It's instant, you're not in control, and you basically just hand your power over. But a response? That's different. That's logical, it's deliberate, it's controlled. And making that shift is everything for keeping your internal world stable. So, once you got that internal foundation poured and set, it's time to start building. The focus shifts from inside to outside. This next phase is all about the strategy, how you take that inner control and turn it into disciplined action in the real world. And look, this part gets super practical, no apologies. Rule 11 is blunt. It's saying that money isn't some optional side quest, it's essential. You have to aggressively build your income because that's what turns those big ideas in your head into actual tangible things you can see and touch.
And that same hardcore practicality applies to your time. Rule 10 says every single move you make has to have a direction. You have to respect time like it's blood. I mean, what an image, right? It's saying it's a vital, non-renewable resource, and to waste it is just not an option.
Then we get to Rule 7, which is such a powerful strategic move. Move in silence. What does that mean? It means no big announcements, no celebrating before you've crossed the finish line. Why? Because when you go looking for validation, you're just draining your own battery and inviting distractions. The idea is to put all your focus on the work itself and let the results do all the talking for you. So you've done the internal work. You've taken disciplined action. What happens next? What's the actual result? Well, this next part is all about the new self that starts to emerge. We're talking real changes to your identity, your body, even your friends. And you can really see the before and after here. Rule 8 says you have to outgrow who you used to be and not feel some kind of misplaced loyalty to that weaker version. Then Rule 4 completely reframes why you train your body. It's not just about looking good, it's about building a physical presence, a kind of unspoken respect. And Rule 3 is about your social life. You trim it down to a tight, high-standard circle. Get rid of the noise so you can stay on course.
Okay, we've gone through the foundation, the strategy, the results, and now we've reached the very core of it all, the absolute heart of this entire philosophy. These next two rules are the ones everything else is built on.
And just look at the structure here. It starts with Rule 2, which is your daily mission. You wake up and you decide who you are going to be before the world gets a chance to tell you. And from there, it all leads to Rule 1, absolute self-reliance. You become your own backup plan. You are your own safety net.
This line from Rule 1 just says it all, doesn't it? That's the core belief right there. You completely reject the idea of being a victim or depending on anyone else. You take total, radical ownership and realize you are the only one who can rescue yourself.
Okay, so after all of this, all the internal work, all this silent action, how does it actually look to everyone else? Well, it doesn't happen all at once. It unfolds in a really specific, powerful sequence.
At first, it's quiet. You're deep in your work, moving in silence, and honestly, nobody even notices you're gone. But then they start to feel it. They feel your distance. Your focus has changed, your standards are higher, and that creates a gap they can't ignore.
And then comes the next phase. This is when the silence breaks. But it's not you shouting about what you've done. It's the results themselves making all the noise. People start to hear whispers, then full-blown stories about your rise, about what you were building all that time you were quiet.
And by that point, well, by then there's nothing left to say. The transformation is so total, the results speak so loudly that you won't need to explain a single thing. Who you've become is the only explanation necessary.
So that brings us to the big question at the end of it all. Is this whole thing a powerful blueprint for mastering yourself? Or is it a warning sign for a path that leads to deep, profound isolation? That's something this philosophy doesn't answer for you.